Good day everyone. So for today's video, we're going to discuss parabolas and its standard equation wherein the vertex is at hk. So from our previous video, we have discussed the standard equation of the parabolas wherein the vertex is at the origin. Now, these are the standard equation of the parabola given that the vertex is at hk. Wherein if the parabola opens upward, then we have x minus h squared equals 4c times y minus k. And if the parabola opens downward, then we'll just make modifications. We'll just make 4 negative. Okay? And if the parabola opens to the right, then we have here the square of y minus k equals 4c times x minus h. And if the parabola opens to the left, then we have multiplications wherein we're going to change positive 4 to negative 4. Wherein 4c here, the absolute value is still the length of our latus rectum. Okay? So let us have examples. Suppose that we have the parabola wherein the vertex is at 4, negative 3 and the focus is at 4, 1. And we are to find for the standard equation of the parabola. It's actually simple, but it would be helpful if we're gonna discuss it in detail, wherein we are to still graph the parabola. Okay? So suppose that we have here the Cartesian coordinate system. Kunwari na lang straight. So, sabi dyan, the vertex is at 4, negative 3. So, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, we have here 4, negative 3. So, we have here 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this is where our vertex is. And then, sabi dyan, the focus is at 4, 1. So, we have here 4, 1. So, here is where our focus. Alright. So, kung mapapansin natin, the vertex or the focus is above the vertex or the vertex, which means that the parabola actually what? Actually opens upward. So, kung last time diniscuss natin na kapag opens upward yung ating, or the parabola opens upward, yung ating standard equation ay x squared pag ang vertex ay nasa origin, ha? That's x squared equals to 4a or 4c y. But then here, our vertex is now at hk, wherein ang ibig sabihin, there are modifications in our x and y. So we'll be having the form or the standard equation that is x minus h square equals to 4c times y minus k. So this is our ito po yung ating gagamitin for us to get the standard form of the equation of the parabola. Okay? Since our vertex is at 4, since our vertex is at 4, negative 3, hence 4 is our h and negative 3 is our k. Okay? And since meron na tayo ni h at saka ni k, ang hinahanap na lang natin is actually c. Alright. So ano pong gagawin natin? We will determine the distance between the vertex and of course the focus. So we'll be having from the vertex, how many units do we have to go to focus? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning, the value of C would be 4 units. Okay? So by plugging in the necessary values to the equation, so that would become x minus, so that is, yung h natin ay 4, square equals to 4 times, our c is actually 4 then, so that is 4, multiplied by, alright, so that is multiplied by y minus, the value of our k is negative 3, so we have your negative 3, then parenthesis. Okay? And by simplification or by the rule of mathematics, we simplify this. This is actually equivalent to x minus 4 square equals to 4 times 4, that's 16. Alright, multiplied by if we simplify this, we have y minus negative 3. That is actually y plus 3. Hence, the standard form of the equation of the parabola is x minus 4 squared equals to 16 times y plus 3. Okay? And if we're going to graph that, since we're given the idea that the value of c is 4, hence, ang ating pong directrix would also be 4 units away from our vertex. So, kung si focus ay nasa taas, ang ating directrix would be nasa baba. So, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. So, this is where our directrix lie. Okay, so nandito po yung ating directrix. And we are given the idea na yung 4C natin, which is actually 16, is the length of our latus rectum. So from the focus, 16 units yung length. So divide natin siya by 2. So we have 8. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is one end of the latus rectum. And then another 8 units. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here is the other end of the latus rectum. So this is where our latus rectum is. And if we're going to connect the ends of the latus rectum with that of the vertex of the parabola, then ito po yung magiging graph ng ating parabola. Okay po? So now, our directrix. So, yung directrix natin, the directrix would be at, so ano kaya si directrix? That is actually parallel to our x-axis. Ibig sabihin, mag-i-intersect siya kay y. So, ang ating directrix would be y equals 1. So, bibilangin natin yung unit. So, that is, from this point, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, that would be what? That would be y equals negative 7 since nasa baba siya. Alright, so that is where our directrix lies. So, we have here y equals negative 7. Or simply, we just what? We just add 4 units, or since nasa baba siya, so isusubtract natin. We just subtract 4 units to that of the k of our vertex. Okay po? So, that is where the directrix is. And then, our axis of symmetry would be what? Our axis of symmetry, or it is sometimes called the principal axis in some books. So, ito po, yung nagdi-divide. So, from our focus down to our vertex, dapat mag-connect siya. That actually contains our axis of symmetry. And that is what? That is parallel to the y-axis, wherein it intersects the x-axis at 4. Ibig sabihin, our axis of symmetry would be at x equals 4. So, these are the necessary features of the parabola that we need to know. Alright? Again, the standard form of the equation of the parabola, wherein the vertex is at 4, negative 3, and the focus is at 4, 1, would be x minus 4. Ito po yun. That would be x minus 4 squared equals 16 times y plus 3. And the directrix is at y equals negative 7. And then, our axis of symmetry is at x equals 4. And we know that the length of the latus rectum given in the standard form of the equation, and that is 16. Okay? So, let us have another example. Suppose we have this one. We are going to find the standard form of the equation of the parabola, wherein the vertex is at 5, 1, and the directrix is at x equals 2. Alright? So, tulad ng sinabi natin kanina, same lang din po ng gagawin natin. Madali lang naman po hanapin yung ating standard form of the equation, but it would be best, or it would be better if iisa-isahin natin siya hanggang ma-graph natin yung ating parabola. So, given the Cartesian coordinate system, our vertex is at 5, 1. So, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have here 1. So we have here the vertex at 5, 1. And then the directrix, sabi dyan, the directrix is at x equals 2. So we have here 1, 2. So nandito po yung ating directrix. Alright? So ang ating directrix is at x equals 2. So, how many or what is the distance between the directrix and the vertex? So from x equals 2, naging 5 nung nasa vertex na tayo. And that makes a difference. And how many units? That would be 1, 2, 3. Meaning, the value of C would be 3. Hence, for us to get the focus of the parabola, that would be what? That would be 5 plus C. That would be 5 plus C, comma, 1. Since C units siya away from the parabola, or away from the vertex. So that would gives us 5 plus, yung value ng C natin ay 3, comma, 1. And that would be at 8, comma, 1. So ang ating focus is at 8, comma, 1. So magbilang tayo. We have here from 5. So we have here 1, 2, 3. So this would be 8, comma, 1. So this is where our focus is. Okay po? So next, since the focus is to the right of our vertex, then we have the idea that the parabola opens to the right. Okay po? Opens to the right. And if the parabola opens to the right, nung sa previous video, kanina, kapag ang vertex niya ay nasa origin at nag-open siya to the right, that is actually y square equals to 4cx. But then again, meron na tayong modification sa ating vertex, wherein the vertex is at hk, then the standard equation would be what? That would be y minus k, yung modification sa y natin, equals to 4c times x minus h. Okay? So this would be the standard form of the equation of the parabola na gagamitin natin. Okay? And that is by plugging in the necessary values to our equation. That would be y minus, the value of k sa ating vertex is actually 1. So that is y minus 1 square equals to 4 times our value of c kanina is 3. Then we have here 4 times 3. That is 4 times 3 times x minus the value of h kanina is 5. So we have here 5. And by simplifying this one, we have y minus 1 square equals to 4 times 3, that is 12, times x minus 5. So this will be the standard form of the equation of the parabola. We have the square of y minus 1 equals 12 times x minus 5. Wherein we are given that the length of the latus rectum is actually 12. So meaning from the focus, magbibilang tayo ng from the focus, magbibilang tayo ng 6 units kasi hatiin natin yung 12 into 2. That is 6 units. So from the focus, 6 units upward and then downward kasi to the right siya naka-open. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 is here and then another one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So another one is here. So these are the ends of the latus rectum. So let me just write it down para hindi po malito ang lahat. So the latus rectum has a length of 12 units, and then by graphing, yung maging itsura po ng ating parabola would be just like this one. So we have this. So, connect lang po natin yung end ng latus rectum with that of the vertex. Alright? So, ito po yung ating magiging parabola. Okay? So, by proceeding to our next features na kailangan nating ma-discover sa ating parabola, ano pa ba ang kailangan natin? That is actually our axis of symmetry. So, the axis of symmetry would be the line that divides the parabola into two congruent parts, and that is actually here. Tama po? So, dadaan po siya kay vertex at saka kay focus. And yung common sa kanila is actually at what? Is actually at y equals 1. So, dito po yung ating axis of symmetry. Okay? Again, the axis of symmetry would be at x or y, sorry, that is actually y equals 1. Okay? And that's how we use the standard form of the equation of the parabola.